All right, welcome in Blue Collar Fantasy Football. Today, we're going to hit you with something a little different, and we're going to do a little best ball draft. Now, those of you who don't know what a best ball draft is, it's pretty simple. Basically, you're going to draft a team, and you can draft them right now in May, and you don't have to set a lineup every week. You draft that team, the best ball format, website that you're going to use, it'll automatically put those high scoring players in your lineup. They're a lot of fun. I enjoy it. We're not going to do a whole lot of crazy looking at the schedule and trying to find those, you know, best matchups and stuff like that. We're going to keep it pretty simple today, just as an intro. Um, but yeah, so we're going to get right into it. This is Underdog Fantasy. They're one of the best, and they have some of the best prize pools. The cool part about Underdog is that you can win so much money. Their big flagship uh, contest is called Best Ball Mania, and let me scroll down a little bit here. If you take first place in this contest of the 672,672 entrants, you can actually win $1.5 million. And it's not just the top dog wins that big prize. You also, as you place, you can win tons of money. And it does even go all the way down to 112,000. You get your money back plus $10. Pretty sweet deal. Obviously, a lot of these guys in this are very savvy. They understand the guys you want to go for. I've placed in a couple best ball manias in the past, just that low bracket of earnings. So nothing major, but yeah. So we're gonna enter in here. Let me make sure we are on 30-second picks because we don't want to take a month to draft. So we will enter in and we shall see. Who do we get? Okay, so it looks like we're waiting for this to fill, waiting for 6 more players. But yeah, let's get it cracking, everybody. So obviously you look at these ADPs, it's pretty straightforward. Um, I do want to see, so these guys that obviously they can break your week, they're going to be the most important player on your team. You know, um, CD Lamb, 335 points. And this is a half PPR site. DraftKings is a PPR site. So the game changes a little bit over there. And in DraftKings, you do get yardage bonuses for over 100 yards. Quarterbacks, it's probably 300 yards. So there is some differences over there. And DraftKings is a little bit easier to draft on. So we are going to, let's make that a little bit bigger. All right. And so, why the way this team layout works is you have to start one quarterback, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, a flex, and a tight end. That's all you have to worry about. So these looking at these ADPs, I mean, the greats are going to be higher. It's very normal for wide receivers to go very early. I mean, look at this. This is a 12 man league, 12-man drafts. So you're all the way down to Garrett Wilson going in the first round. And then with running backs, there's quite a few going in the first. Oh, I'm sorry. There we go. Let's take away quarterback and receiver. So yeah, there's only 4 running backs that are first rounders in this format. So you're not gonna because it's pretty simple. They're not gonna be the winners in this. Realistically, you want to start 4 wide receivers every week. So, and a lot of these guys, I'm surprised to see Kyron up here with the moves that the Rams made, moving over to quarterback. One guy that I'm not as in on early is CJ Stroud. I think, he only had 6 games that were above, I wanna say 18 points last year, and I understand it's his rookie year, so, I mean, it's gonna take some time for him to develop, and who knows? He really could, but, I mean, you got a healthy Joe Burrow, Kyler. I'm glad to see Kyler's actually came up quite a bit, with the draft, after the draft of Trey Benson and, of course, Marvin Harrison Jr. So, that's gonna make a big difference, is going for those guys who can break your week. Um, guys like, for example, CJ Stroud had a couple boom games last year, but I don't think he's going to really consistently be able to break your week. Guys like Anthony Richardson with the high rushing ability, they're going to make more of a difference in my eyes. Obviously, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Lamar, any of these guys that can rush for 10 plus touchdowns, that's huge to add to these rosters. And getting into roster construction a little bit, you don't want 3 quarterbacks. The value, I mean, the real, I guess it's a value with these wide receivers is if you scroll down, you know, right, or like right here, perfect. Christian Watson, Jameson Williams, they could break your week, but you don't want them in your starting lineup every week because you might have 5 points for that week. So it's it is different. I personally like the teams that have performed best for me is 2 quarterbacks, 6 or 7 running backs, 2 tight ends, and then fill it with wide receivers. Because wide receivers have a better chance of, breaking off a crazy game. So, yeah, I really enjoy best ball. Let's just, take a look here. I wanna see where some of these guys are going. I've done a few drafts, but it was really early pre-draft in the off season. And I believe I've done one recently just to kind of wrap my head around it. But especially with these tight ends, I you I think you can't go below Ingram as your start, as your number one tight end. And if I do, I'm probably gonna try to grab a Ferguson and a Njoku, not necessarily those two. You're not gonna probably want to double down on tight ends back to back. But, you know, if you could grab a Hawkinson and a Luke Musgrave, I'm not opposed to that. There's some upside there. And, if I'm really feeling spicy, I would go like I'm not afraid of 3 tight ends, but it's definitely not preferred. I think if you went, a Jawan Johnson, Jonnu Smith, Mike Gesicki, that's a little more interesting. You might get some value there. Um, with the running back position, don't mind my dryer beeping. Sorry, I'm sure that's so annoying. But with the running back position, there's a lot of everyone's 0 RB now. Everyone wants to be 0 RB. There's definitely an edge there. Nice. Here we go. We're all filled. Um, I personally like the hero RB approach, but it's it's give or take. Now, 0 RB, if you guys watch Spike Week or anyone like that, the goal is like 7th round RB1. So roughly in this range, you might end up with Najee as your starting running back or Jalen Warren. Jalen Warren's a little more fun for sure. And I'm not opposed to that. I have drafted a few teams with this kind of format because later on these guys are trying to catch up on wide receivers and the guys that drafted running back heavy early. And I mean, look at this range. This is sweet. You could grab Swift You could grab Connor, Zach Moss, Raheem Mostert, the guy who finished 4th in fantasy last year, all the way down at 94 at ADP. So, oh, nice. We got the 11th draft or pick position. So let's figure out who we're gonna go for here. So we're gonna be roughly in this AJ Brown, Garrett Wilson, Jameer Gibbs range, but let's see who falls. I do think, you know, you could go any route here. You know, I do like Gibbs, but Montgomery goes so late, and it's a killer value. So these badges up here, pretty interesting. They represent people who have placed in tournaments, and that's the black and white emblem next to their icon, and the red and white are highly experienced. I believe that means they've won, maybe not just a tournament, but they may have won like a pick 'em or something like that. So these guys have put money in and they know how to play. All these badges gets a little scary to see. Okay, so we are on the clock, and this is a 30-second clock. So you got to pick quick. I think we have to go receiver here. I'm going to take a shot on going to Garrett Wilson. Let's hope Aaron Rodgers can come back. Wait, let me double check this. Yeah, yeah. I think there's a chance Aaron Rodgers absolutely feeds him, and we might get to come back and grab an AJ Brown or actually any of these top 6 wide receivers I'd be good with. Um, Hit him with the gritty 18. Great name. Justin Jefferson fan for sure. Okay, took Marvin Harrison and AJ Brown. Okay. So, oh man, I don't love Ayuk here. Debo. Let's go. Let's go. On A Chan. It is tempting. Nah, let's go Drake London. Okay. So we are starting out with Garrett Wilson and Drake London. I don't hate that. I really don't. It's risky for sure because if Rodgers doesn't make it through the whole season, we're going to see more of the same from Garrett Wilson. If Kirk Cousins doesn't hyper target Drake London, it's gonna hurt. It really is. So I don't hate it, but it's definitely risky for sure. I'm coming right back. Don't worry. Okay, so some running backs are going. Okay. I mean, Barkley at the 2-3, Jonathan Taylor at the 2-4. I don't hate that. I'm not huge on either of those guys because I just don't know how much they're going to get in the end zone. With their quarterbacks, those quarterbacks are going to steal production in the red zone, and I just don't love that. Devontae Adams, Chris Olave. I want Olave to break. I've wanted Olave to break out for since he was a rookie. I don't know if it's going to happen with Derek Carr. It's going to be interesting to see. Nico Collins still going at 20. That's that's spicy in my mind, just because I don't think with how many targets they have in that offense, they just added Joe Mixon and Stephon Diggs. That's I just don't see him being a second round pick anymore. You know what I mean? Because he wasn't even a second round pick last year. So it'll be interesting. He had a great season last year. I don't want to dog on him at all, but yeah, let's see. So if this Hmm. We're still 12 picks away. So we'll see what falls. Achan, I would these guys should steal Achan right here. Devin Achan can break a week in a big way. There he goes right there. And I don't think the Jalen Wright thing kills Achan's upside. Because I think they're going to use Achan a little more than last year. It'll be interesting though. I think Jalen Wright really hurts Raheem Mostert more than anything. So Mike Evans, I like Mike Evans at 3-1. He's a steal there in my mind. Steph Diggs, some of the olds going away. Jalen Waddle. Okay. I like Waddle. I like Waddle a lot. Let's see. So I'm kind of surprised Laporta is still here. Usually people are grabbing him a little earlier than this, it seems. So Neighbors is right. Neighbors is so scary with Daniel Jones. I hate that landing spot, and I just don't know if he can actually produce. Because with Daniel Jones, the thing is he hasn't supported a number one wide receiver yet. And they haven't really had a number one wide receiver, and Neighbors goes right here. Okay, so DK Metcalf, Devonta Smith, Cooper Cup. Oh, or we grab Kelsey here. What do you guys think? Hmm. I almost want to grab Josh Allen and try to stack him with Dalton Kincaid. I think Kincaid's going to explode this year. I don't think Keon Coleman is going to. I don't think he's going to have 100 receptions. You know what I mean? He's going to get a ton of targets, and he is going to be useful. But oh no, it'll be interesting. Okay, come on, Eat King. Yeah, leave him for me. Let's do this. Okay, Josh Allen, give him to me. He was basically right at ADP. You always want to look for values in ADP. They're not always going to be there, especially in these early rounds. People are not going to deviate that much. Okay. Oh man, do I grab Kincaid here, or do we try to see if there's no way he falls? Oh, it's so spicy grabbing him 10 spots above ADP. You know what? We're gonna go Travis Kelsey. I'm gonna break up someone else's stack. I know that's not normally what you want to do in underdog. And there was, I like Pickens. I like Tank Dell. I think Tank Dell's going too early too. 42 is so early for a guy that's a slot or outside deep ball guy. I'm sorry, Terry McLaurin just went. Wow, he grabbed Terry McLaurin. I want to say 20. I can't get it. Almost 20 spots above ADP. I think he got scrolled. He was scrolling down and just grabbed the best guy he saw on his screen right then and there. Um, there's no way these tight ends fall, but I'm not opposed to going a Kelsey Kincaid stack just for the uniqueness. It's going to be really interesting if that is a thing. I'm not opposed to it either because these running back, we're still at Pacheco, James Cook, Rashad White. I don't want any of these guys. Not on best ball. We're going full zero RB here. This might be another one of my Zach Moss RB1 shares. And I think I am gonna try to get some live streaming going on with on YouTube. But so yeah, just stay tuned, subscribe, hit the bell. That way you don't miss it when I do go live. Um, I'd like to hit these best ball drafts all summer. They might not all be best ball manias. This is not my job, so I can't afford to max these contests. Because this contest, for example, I think the max is 150 entries. So just multiply 25 by 150. There you go. There's people who max it every year, and people that is a great way if you are determined to win this to get all the exposure you can. Grab Amari Cooper, grab Rashad White, grab those guys that you're like, I want a little bit of this, a little bit of this, sprinkle out my teams. So okay, George Pickens went. Yeah, there's no shot Kincaid comes back to me. But right now, Marquise Brown, yeah, he looks like a good value. The Xavier Worthy thing does scare me because it's kind of the Jamar Chase thing. He's struggling catching the ball, the rookie camp stuff. So if he is falling at all, which I don't have pulled up right now, he could be a steal when it comes actual redraft time. I'd be all in on that. Okay, so Roma Dunze, Joe Mixon, obviously Mahomes went. That makes sense. He should here. What do we got? Okay, we are 6 picks away. There's a chance Kincaid could fall. We could try to get goofy with it. And because you do have a tight end and a flex spot. I'm not saying this is great a great way to draft best ball, but it would be fun. Let's put it that way. It'd be fun to see how it works. Okay, so getting down to it, we might. Oh, he just went. Okay, that's fine. It's not a good strategy, I don't think. I'm not opposed to going double QB, double elite QB, but we would absolutely be done in that situation. But the thing is, you don't want to leave points on your bench. So I think, man, I hate this spot in the draft. Oh man, what do you guys think? Worthy or Brown? I'm gonna go Marquise Brown. Yep, we're doing it. I don't love that there, but if he develops a rapport with Patrick Mahomes early on, he could be the main target uh, in that offense until Rashee Rice comes back. Okay, let's see here. I think we're going Calvin Ridley. Okay, yeah, we're gonna go for Ridley here. Maybe use like Jamar Chase. I love that little tag note. I don't expect that, but he gives us some ceiling. I think if Levis steps his game up this year, which I think he very well could, and I know people are screaming at me for not grabbing Keon Coleman here. Grab that Buffalo stack. I I do think Keon Coleman is the number one wide receiver there this season, but you know I'm not opposed to grabbing an extra receiver here. So I only have 3 and we're approaching the 7th round. I want that 4th wide out. Oh, I kinda like Brian Thomas at that spot. I don't think we'll see him. We're still 15 picks away. Okay, so we're gonna start thinking about running backs here. I'm not opposed to grabbing Zamir White. I think Zamir White is getting underrated and undervalued this year. And I know it's only May, um, but He looked pretty good at the end of the season last year, and you want to take ceiling. You wanna take your shots in best ball. And you'll keep seeing my screen move like this, it's because I wanna make sure I'm at the top of the list because you do not wanna get caught scrolled down looking at, Jatavian Sanders later on in the draft. That'll hurt your feelings. Okay, we're 9 picks out. Man, we might go receiver running back here. I'm not opposed to it because I don't wanna be down here at well, I don't want Trey Benson to be my number 1 running back, let's put it that way. We do want some startable points. I don't think Samir's gonna make it to us with these running backs just going. David Montgomery, Aaron Jones. That's kinda when you're gonna start seeing guys be freaking out because they don't have any running backs. But I believe I'm the only guy so far to not take a running back. Let's see. Yeah, yeah. Okay. We are the 0 RB bro in this draft, which I'm good with. I don't think it's a bad thing. We've seen it work in the past, and it's getting more and more popular for a reason. People want to win this. People want to win money. I want to win some money. Hopefully, this is our $1.5 million roster here. Reading the names, it's like, I don't know about that. Okay, so we have 4 wideouts. I don't hate grabbing a Christian Watson. We have a lot of ceiling and not as much safety, though. But I don't know if I wanna play it safe. Um, Deontay Johnson, man, he just looked so rough last year. I don't love it. Oh, there he goes. So don't need to worry about that too much. Who just went? Najee? Oh man, oh man, oh man. I think we are going to go. I think we're gonna go Zamir. Yep, we're going Zamir. Almost I'm tempted to grab Jonathan Brooks here. See if he can actually break out. I know he had the ACL last year, but you gotta take your shots, man. Christian Watson's just screaming at me as a Packers fan. This guy has 4 quarterbacks. Hit him with the gritty. Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, Anthony Richardson, Kyler Murray. See, that's the thing I'm not into is just you have so many points on the bench every week. Swift is tempting here. I just don't know if he's gonna get the work. All right, we're gonna take a shot on Jonathan Brooks. It's a little hope and pray, but I don't hate that. I don't hate that. There's upside there. Okay, so far we have Josh Allen at quarterback, Samir White at running back, Jonathan Brooks, wide receiver, Garrett Wilson, Drake London, Marquise Brown, Calvin Ridley, and then Travis Kelsey bringing up the end, bringing up the back. So let's see. Christian Watson goes as he should. Jaden Daniels went. That's smart. He should go before Caleb. I don't know if Caleb Williams can support all these targets. I mean, he has a lot of targets to support. And that's why DeAndre Swift is still there. Jordan Love. I'm surprised no one tried to stack Watson and Love there. That was surprising. So it's a pretty juicy stack if Watson can stay healthy. We all know he has hamstrings made of glass, but he is a touchdown scorer for sure. Dak off the board. We're 11 picks out, so we are gonna. Let's see. Let's see where we could be. Probably these Washington guys will be right around the running back position. Singletary, I don't mind right there. I kind of like Hawkinson with this team. That's tempting. It's very tempting. Chase Brown. We might target Chase Brown. I like where he's going compared to Zach Moss, who's all the way at the top right now. This is where you'll start seeing these ADP values too, because we're at 97 right now. There's 93, James Conner. If James Conner falls to me, I'm scooping that 100%. James Conner has a nose for the end zone. 7 touchdowns the last 2 years. Yeah, it's not the most efficient, but hey, points are points. We need to grab points whenever we can, wherever we can, especially when it's at a value. There he goes right there, smart man. And you gotta remember these guys with these badges, they are savvy. They're building good teams. And even this guy with see this guy has 0 quarterbacks, 0 tight ends. What's his roster look like? Pacheco, Kamara, Tony Pollard, Amon-Ra, Nico, Malik, Cooper, and Brian Thomas. A lot of upside there. And a little bit of safety too with Cooper and Amon-Ra. I like that. He has a smoking good team. I like that a lot. Okay, so we are 4 picks out. Man, Trey Benson's tempting there for sure. We might go Trey Benson and do a little reach. Ooh, tempting. Who's after Hawkinson? Schultz. Eh, okay, you always kind of want to come in here with a game plan but be ready to switch off of that game plan. Eckler's a little tempting here just because how do you go from a first round pick to a 10th round pick? That seems a little much. Okay, Trey Benson went. Austin Eckler, sniper in the streets. Okay, so let's do this. Let's grab. I don't love Curtis Samuel. Shakir's going right there too. We're gonna grab Brian Robinson. Oh, Devin Singletary. I'm gonna say RB1 Devin Singletary. He has helped me out a few times in these drafts. And I mean, he's a starting running back. And I don't think the Giants are prepared to go uh switch off of the one running back approach. I'm not too worried about Tyrone Tracy. I get it. He has a lot of upside, but I'm just not in. Okay, we're going TJ Hawkinson. I said it, we're doing it. TJ Hawkinson is a dominator. And plus, now we have Travis Kelsey and TJ Hawkinson. If the Chiefs use him like Kelsey, like they did last year, he's probably going to start the season hot. And then they're going to ease off of him a little bit. And then towards the end of the season, he could really pick up steam again, especially if they're needing to win games. And you got to remember the good thing about Travis Kelsey this year is Rashee Rice is probably going to miss some time. We don't know how much. Hopefully, it's not too much for fantasy reasons, but yeah, I'm pretty hyped on this tight end room because Hawkinson's probably going to miss the first month at least, and he's going to have new quarterbacks. It's going to take him some time to acclimate. So the Travis Kelsey, TJ Hawkinson combination could work out perfectly. And we're not going to go a third tight end on this roster. We're probably going to go 2 quarterbacks and fill the rest. Man, I wish Chase Brown was going to fall to me. I don't think he is though, because we're still 14 picks out. Um, man, Herbert, little fall from grace here. Kirko Chains, man, I kind of like the Kirk Cousins, Josh Allen stack there at quarterback. Let's see. I don't hate Jacoby Myers here either, man. Gardner Minshew really didn't support more than one option very well last year, but Jacoby's a dog, man. He is very good at football. And Devontae's going to see so much coverage. He's going to see double coverage. He's going to get attacked from the defensive backs. So, who else? Chase Brown is the backup, quote unquote, but he looks good when he's out there. And if Zach Moss doesn't, Chase Brown's going to take over that backfield as Chase Brown goes. Another good pick there. So the guy who grabbed Herbert also grabbed Josh Palmer. Let's take a look at this guy's team. Herbert, McCaffrey, Kyron Williams, Jalen Warren, Zach Moss. Somebody's been listening to best ball content. Mike Evans, George Pickens. Lost it. Ladd, Keon Coleman, Josh Palmer, Trey McBride. Another great team. See, these guys know how to draft. They're better. They're probably better at drafting than me. Um, there's a lot of upside here. Um, Running back room's a little scary. Not terrified of it, but let's see. Mitchell. I could risk it with a Jahan Dotson throwaway here. I kind of like Cooks. Cooks. Do we think Jerome Ford can produce? 200 carries, 800 yards, 4 touchdowns. Didn't see the ends. I hit 5 receiving touchdowns though. Oh, Kirk Cousins, dude! I got a sniper in my lobby. This is crazy. Man, Zeke is tempting here. I might go Zeke. I think we grab. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna go Cooks. They added nothing to this wide receiver room, and Brandon Cooks always produces. Always. And if Zeke gets past Gritty here, I I'm okay with that. Let's see, Jerome Ford. Okay, he's probably not taking Zeke here. Well, 4 quarterback guy, so shall see. Okay. Cookman, Fryer me Stafford. I hate Stafford here. We're gonna try to maybe get a good season out of Zeke. I don't love that at all, but and I understand the people who think Rico Dowdle is gonna produce this year, but he saw the field a lot last year, and I didn't see anything I was dying over. Um, Rico could be the starter though, 100%. I just think that goal line work for Zeke will get him into the lineup more times than not. Um, so let's see, Zach Charbonnet. Wow, Charbonnet's still going up here. That's interesting. Okay, so we're getting to the point where I'm gonna have to add a quarterback, which is fine. There's still quarterbacks here I like. And there's, these rookie running backs, Jalen Wright, Marshawn Lloyd, if they see the field, they could be so good. I love Kendra. Don't love Ray Davis, but we might grab him grab a Josh Allen stack of something. Kamani Vidal is going so high. It's crazy. Blows my mind. He is a good prospect, though. He looks good. He looks very good. Ricky Pearsall off the board. Wow, what is Pearsall's ADP? See if I can catch it. Ricky Pearsall, ADP 145. Oh, wow, right at ADP. Okay, fair enough. We're at 143 right now, so you grabbed him 2 spots ahead of ADP. 4 spots, I'm sorry. So definitely went with the quarterback, uh, the heavy stack here. How many guys did he stack? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4-man stack. A little much for me, but I get it. I do. And these are 18 round drafts, so you get to build these benches quite a bit. Uh, all right, so we are 10 picks away right now. There's still good values on the board. I mean, these quarterbacks, very serviceable. They're going to get into your lineup more times than not if you're not rocking Josh Allen like I am. Man, I don't love these wide receivers. I like Roman Wilson, Jermaine Burton here, though. I do. Don't love Troy Franklin here. Quentin Johnston, who knows if he's going to actually come back and produce. Last year was rough, so rough. 63, 67 targets, 38 catches, 400 yards. Not very exciting. Okay, 6 picks away. Marshawn Lloyd, Darnell Mooney, and Josh Downs just went off the board. Jalen Polk. Okay. And see, like, we're at pick 150, and Jalen Polk went off. I want to see where does Javon Baker 185. I'd rather grab the low guy. He could easily outproduce him. We're probably grabbing a quarterback here. I think we're going to go Stafford. I know we're not stacking, uh, but kind of just trying to go best player available while doing zero RB. And he goes, okay. Let's see. I don't know if I want to go down to Levis level. Maybe we go Aaron Rodgers, grab that Garrett Wilson stack mate. Don't mind that. Roman Wilson comes back. We're probably grabbing that. Don't know if he will. This guy drops weird. Okay. Okay. So, ooh, Luke McCaffrey's here. J.K. Dobbins, Ray Davis. You know what? I think we're going to go J.K. Dobbins. I know he's not getting stacked with anybody again. If he is actually back and healthy, he could be a league winner. And that's what I need on this roster. With these running backs, I want a little touch of upside, the possibility of upside. Because Zeke isn't, he's not going to give me upside. Devin Singletary's not going to give me upside. Um, and the hard part is these wide receivers, there's not a lot of consistency on this roster with Brown, Ridley, those two. They played literally about the same last year. It was pretty rough. Couple spike weeks break into my roster, but we're really hoping these tight ends can help break into that flex and these running backs surprise. I don't love this draft at all, really. Didn't go in at all the way I wanted it to, but yeah, we'll see. What we might get some late round values here though, because this is the part where these running backs start going. I love Antonio Gibson right here. I just want to put that out there. Jaleel McLaughlin. I'm kind of struggling with McLaughlin just because I don't know what this offense is going to be at all. It could very well be Audric Estime is takes over second half of the year for Javante, or Javante could dominate. And I know Sean Payton has his receiving backs that he loves, his playmakers, his joker roles, whatever that means. And he could be of great value at 173, but I don't see it. Um, I'd much rather grab Estime at this point in the draft. Okay, we're 9 picks out. Zay Jones to Arizona, that's a little juicy. Man, I think I'm gonna grab if Gibson falls, I'll grab Gibson. He's the only one that's really popping out to me. Chuba Hubbard might be a good grab just to just to alleviate Jonathan Brooks, just because I don't know how right Jonathan Brooks's leg is. I think we're gonna go Hubbard. You know what? No, we're gonna go Gibson. He him and Ramondre are not the same receivers. Running backs. They play a different role. And Gibson, I love Gibson. He's been one of my favorite players since he joined. Rough season last year, 65 attempts, 48 catches. Oh man. Do I want to go Gibson here? I might go Hubbard. Or do we fall for the Rashad Bateman trap? No screaming values here that I see. I think we're gonna go Chuba Hubbard. Maybe he'll help with the breaking into the lineup, and Jonathan Brooks. And we're probably gonna grab Javon Baker if he's still here. I have a feeling Gritty's gonna take him though, because he only has 4 wide receivers right now, and we are in the 16th round. And we're gonna hammer wide receivers to finish this out. Whoa, Devontae Walker and Rashad Bateman. Bro, you're wild. I will take Javon Baker gladly right there. Um, Zay Jones, I was not a bad pick there either. He just, I don't know. Last year he got hurt, and he just struggled to get the ball. It's just a weird year for him. And then now it gets tough. So we're gonna roll Josh Allen and Aaron Rodgers at QB. We're done at running back. Just so you guys know. Zamir White, Jonathan Brooks. I hope they can carry the load. I hope they are uh, league winners this year. And they very well could be, or they could not be. But Devin Singletary, Ezekiel Elliott, they're going to be the constant steady points in my mind. And then J.K. Dobbins, Chuba Hubbard. Chuba Hubbard is purely a safety net because I didn't like anything. Honestly, I would have rather grabbed Elijah Mitchell than Chuba, but I should have scrolled. Wide receiver room. We're looking at Garrett Wilson, Drake London, Marquise Brown, Calvin Ridley, and Brandon Cooks, Javon Baker. So we're going to add a couple wide receivers to this and see what we can come up with here. 14 picks away. I think we're going to smash wide receivers here and hope to get some late round values. At this point, a late round value, you're looking at Zay Jones, Tyler Boyd, uh, maybe Jalen McMillan, Malik Washington. I'm not opposed to going Malik Washington here. Maybe a Brendan Rice share, A.T. Perry. I'm looking for these. Really, I'm looking for younger guys. Like Tyler Boyd doesn't excite me much. Um, I'd much rather go Jalen McMillan or Malik Washington. I don't think I'm going to go the McMillan route. It is a little more interesting if he is more of an outside receiver this year than Chris Godwin. I know they're talking about putting Chris Godwin into the slot again, which could be great, but I don't know if Baker is going to look at him. He really didn't look at him last year. It didn't seem like. Okay, Damian Pierce, Chig, Demarcus Robinson, Zay Jones off the board. This is the time to take your shots on guys like this. I like the Tucker Craft pick right here. He didn't really have to reach for him though. That was pretty low on the totem pole. Yeah, 7 pick difference of ADP and where he went. What's up, dogs? Why are you crying? Drake May off the board. Here we go. Was he the one that grabbed? I gotta see. He was the one who grabbed Polk, so he's going for a late stack there. Oh, fragile RB build here. Pacheco, Kamara, Pollard, Edwards. I that could totally get him through though. If those guys actually hit, it could definitely get him through. So I'm gonna just keep the running backs up because we are nearing the end of the draft. 2 picks left. So these are my last 2 picks. Man, Elijah Mitchell's tempting there. Very tempting. Okay, we're gonna go wide receiver first. We're gonna get our guy. We're gonna go Malik Washington. I think he can get onto the field and see some run. I do like Brendan Rice here, but I want that high flying Miami offense for this. Okay, let's get the running backs pulled back up. Okay, so we are. I might go 2772. I don't love that. I don't love that. We're going Brendan Rice. We're grabbing him. I believe in him. I believe in his dad, saying that he's going to be on every one of his workouts, and I think that can make a difference. So let's run through his team real quick. This screen's probably going to change on me here in a second, but Garrett Wilson, Drake London at receiver. Here, let's go back to the screen. It's easier to read. Okay, so let's start back at quarterback. Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers, Zamir White, Jonathan Brooks at running back, followed by Devin Singletary, Ezekiel Elliott, J.K. Dobbins, Chuba Hubbard. Garrett Wilson, Drake London, Marquise Brown, Calvin Ridley, Brandon Cooks, Javon Baker, Malik Washington, Brendan Rice. I don't mind this combination. I don't know if it's strong enough to get us in, through the best ball playoffs, just because these are guys who have had injury before, especially, Marquise Brown, Calvin Ridley. Those guys aren't always going to see the field. But Brandon Cooks, and rookie upside. Uh, Got to take some rookies in this. You got to take your shots. And at tight end, of course, Travis Kelce, TJ Hawkinson. Those are pretty good tight ends. So, all right. Well, we're gonna wrap it up there, and I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for joining me for a best ball draft, and we will continue to draft them all summer. All right. Well, make sure to like, comment, subscribe on the YouTube, and yeah, thank you guys. Peace.